Hi everyone. Just give me a second. I'll try and set this. Okay, here we are. I'm normally known as Jasmine who organizes gigs, Jasmine who does open mics, youth festivals, and also recently a tech event. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that actually inspire me and how that has actually translated to, you know, us doing all these kind of crazy things. For example, publishing a cruise magazine. Everyone was telling me, nobody cruises. So what we're going to do is basically talk about first impressions. That it all begins with you. How you're actually looking at me right now, and how I'm actually looking at you right now despite the bright white light in front of me. I can make out some of you. So basically, all these years of somehow having music in my life, I've stumbled upon some very, very interesting research, thanks to Google. And one of it is this. I don't know if you've seen this. When we were kids, a doctor would kind of like put that onto your knee, test your hearing, see if you're hearing right. Well, little did we know that this is actually resonating at 512 hertz, which is equivalent to C. So, first impressions. When you see somebody, are we like feeling the vibe? I mean, are we feeling the vibe? He really cares for me, he's listening. I'm talking to him and his eyes are not looking everywhere or behind me. He really cares. So that's the first impression. What about people who always constantly wear white? Or people like me somehow, I go shopping and I'm like, hey, let's go with colors. But I always seem to end up buying black stuff. And I love Zara. Anyway, so yeah, we make impressions of people when we first meet them, and you know, we might have a particular mold. And then we realize, oh, that person actually is more than that. You know, I didn't know that he speaks Russian. I didn't know that he studied medicine in Russia. But anyway, what are impressions saying about you? So today, I hope that I can just impart a little bit about how I always try to listen with my heart. And listening with your heart is really going beyond what your brain's telling you. It's going with what they call instincts. And it's going with what you feel like, hey, you know, I've got a good vibe with this person, or this guy's creeping me out, or this girl is, I'm not sure. So that's what it is today. How can you listen with your eyes? Because, you know, eyes really tell you everything. Doesn't it?
Yes.
When you stare at somebody, you can feel. You don't even have to look at somebody and you can feel it. I mean, I might be crazy, but I felt it. So, when Michael Jackson passed away, I was really, 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 really sad, because he was really one guy that I felt found the secret to music. Somehow he seemed to know how to hit the right notes. And every single song that would come out was like a hit number. How did he do it? So now I invite you to think of a song that resonates with you. Maybe I'll ask the organizer, Mehdi. Is there a song that resonates with you?
A lot.
A lot? One? Just one? My Heart Will Go On. Anybody else? Co-X?
Dubstep?
Dubstep. See, that resonates with you. I get it. I totally get it. So now you think of a person that you think is on your same wavelength. And then you think of that song, and sometimes you think of a song and it brings a person to your mind. Or you smell something, like sometimes I'm walking, I'm shopping or something, and then I smell this whiff, and I'm like, where is she? You know? So basically that's what I'm so keen about, which is our favorite sounds. I mean, one of my most ultimate favorite sounds, when I wake up in the morning, this was a gift that a friend gave to me from Bali, and it makes the most delicious sounds. And my nephew will always ask me, what are you doing? So I'll just hit 1. And if you notice, when you get a message, Steve Jobs was way ahead of all of us. Doesn't that sound like a message? You think so? What are your favorite sounds? Think about it. So, are we all on the same train of thought? You see, all these sayings, it's somehow linking to sounds. You can't stop the train we're on the same wavelength. But when you're on different wavelengths, you can't wait to get off the next station. Is that right? Sometimes we have interns that come into the office and we say, you know, you can't stop the train, baby, but if this is not really your thing, just let us know. We'll open the doors. So feeling the good vibrations is what I'd like you to go away with today. Now, what if we were actually able to measure these vibrations? Well, believe it or not, somebody actually did come up with an instrument, and it was called Tineo technology. It's interestingly, you can't find much about this company. I've been Googling, I don't know, it's bizarre. You can't find out much about them, but they apparently invented a frequency monitor. So what is frequency? Frequency is basically from here to here, and it's calculated in hertz, and it's calculating how many waves it gets from here to here in 1 second. So what you heard earlier with the 512 hertz, it's 512 waves moving from one point to another. So the A note, for example, on the violin is vibrating at 440 hertz. Now, this is the chap, Mr. Bruce Tineo. He determined the average frequency of the human body. And what he discovered was that a healthy body is vibrating at a frequency of 62 to 72 hertz. And when the frequency drops, your immune system is being compromised. You become sick. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not generating enough, you become sick. Average brain is vibrating between 72 to 90 hertz. Your heart, so every single organ is vibrating at a different frequency. But somehow there's this word that they call entrainment, where all together we're vibrating at a very healthy, up to 72 hertz for average human. So basically the message is keep it above 60. How do you do that? How do you keep it above 60? So really what you eat. Fresh foods. Sometimes when I'm telling my friends about this, they just look at me like I'm loony. But I do have friends who actually make like fresh fruit juices every single morning, as opposed to going to, you know, like 7-Elevens and buying something off the shelf. Dried foods. And you know what? You might as well not even open that can of whatever it's in there, because you might as well not eat it. It's basically just satisfying you here, but not here. So I often wonder why, whenever you have like evening primrose oil or lavender oils, or when you go to a massage place, they play really soothing music at a particular hertz, and they also have oils. So you see, oils are actually natural and they're vibrating at very, very high frequencies. For example, rose and lavender. So in my discovery, I stumbled upon this thing called the ancient Solfeggio scales. Has any of you heard of this before? Go Google it, because I found some people think it's quack, but some people think it's actually very, very, very interesting. So this is apparently the original scales and all the vibrations that go with it. And somewhere down the line, we changed it to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So today, in today's world, where all music is actually composed based on A, which is the 440 frequency. Now, the audible frequency range spectrum for a human being starts from 16 hertz all the way to 16,000 hertz. How does that relate? When we were listening to a beatboxer earlier, he was making the sounds of like an instrument, right? So these are the ranges of the bass, piano, violin, guitar, saxophone. When we listen to birds, don't we feel good? It just feels like, wow, new day. Thunder, ocean waves, kind of like a bit deep, dark. Male-female tones. I once went for a casting for a National Geographic documentary, and they told me, sorry Jasmine, but you know what? Male voices are usually more preferred in documentaries because people tend to believe males more. And I was like, okay, but I have a low voice. So, raise your vibrations, people. Now, how do we do that? Okay, apparently, negativity brings it down. But think positive, and you're all the way up. Get some natural light. Every year, what I try to do is I go for a walk at one of the national parks and hug a tree. Seriously, it feels good. Yes. Fruits and veggies, your mom was right. Follow positive people, but you know what? In a place called Sumeria, there's actually a group of people who put up stop signs all throughout the city. Because everyone's on the move today. We're all on the move. We're all like excited. We can't stop. We're on our iPads. We're on, playing games. We don't stop. We don't seem to stop to just find that quiet moment to just gather ourselves. So what they're saying is, those stop signs were actually just reminders not to stop traffic, but to stop unnecessary thought. Sorry. So, once in a while, let's stop and listen. So, thank you everyone. That was just a small little piece of music that I created for a game that my friend is developing. I hope you enjoyed it. That's my vibrations to you, and I wish you all the best in raising your own personal vibrations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.